Hi, I'm Kelly from Jones Jewellery. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this cute ring. It's got quite a nice weave on the band. So I'll put a list of everything you'll need to make this in the description below, and let's get to it. So today we're making a ring, so you're going to need a ring mandrel or something that kind of size to wrap your band around. So to make this ring you'll need 0.8mm wire, which is 20 gauge, and I've cut 3 lengths at 11 inches, which is 28 centimetres. I've got 0.315mm weaving wire, which is 28 gauge. You can go a step up or down on any of these sizes, you really can. So I've wound mine onto a bobbin. I've wound 300 centimetres onto mine. I may not use all of that, so I'll put the measurement on the screen. This is a Bobeeze bobbin by Beadsmith. It just makes it easier working with a longer length of wire. So you just reel that off and that sits down by your side as you're working, and it just allows you to work with the longer lengths. It just makes it a bit easier than having the wire flailing about everywhere. I've got a little bead, got a little yellow topaz, and that is 6mm, so anything that kind of size. The other thing is I'm going to go for a size 8 roughly. I mean, I'm going to try and go for an 8. You have to keep going back to your mandrel and checking the size as you work on with it. But so if you're making a ring that's much bigger, then add 2, 3, 4 inches onto your wires. If you're making it a bit smaller, then it's fine. What else have we got? So, tools, we've got pliers, round nose pliers, cutters, nylon pliers. If you don't have nylon pliers, don't worry. I just like having these handy for flattening all the weaves, compressing all the weaves, straightening the wires. So they are handy to have. These didn't really cost much. These are prestige. I would be lost without them, but they're not essential. All of my tools are Tronex, and I'll put a list of all these things in the description below. So let's get to it. So to start off, we need to work out your band size. Now this is an estimate. So get your mandrel, work out the size that you want. Get some of this bendy tape and wrap it around the size that you're after. So mine roughly comes to, we say, a 6 centimetres. The middle piece is going to be about 1 centimetre. So I'm going to weave 5 centimetres, and then I can keep putting it back on the mandrel and add a bit more if I need to. So work out a rough size to get you started, and then we'll take it from there. So that measurement that you've just worked out for your band is the size your weave needs to be, and you need your weave to sit central on the wires. So find the centre point of your wires, and then I need to go half of, if I want 5 centimetres, I want half. So I will go, hold on, where's my middle point gone again? So if mine's going to be 5, then I want 2.5 to be at the centre point, and I'm going to start 2.5 centimetres to the left of that centre point. Does that make sense? So that this 5 centimetre weave is going to be central on the wires there. Find your starting point, take your weaving wire, and we're going to start with 3 wraps around that bottom wire. Then we'll go twice around 2 wires. Come up between those 2 wires. We go twice around the top 2 wires. Come up between those 2 wires. We go twice around the top wire. Push it together. Come up between the bottom 2. Go twice around the top 2. Twice around the bottom 2. I constantly keep adjusting my wires as I'm going because they just keep moving. Push it together twice around the bottom wire. And then we start again. So we go twice around the bottom two, come up between those two, twice around the top two, come up between those two, push it together, twice around the top wire, come up between the bottom two, twice around the top two, twice around the bottom two. Finish it with 2 wraps around the bottom wire and press that together. It's quite a nice little weave. So I've done 5 centimeters of that weave. You must keep pushing it together as you go, and as I was pushing it together I seem to have pushed it that way, so I've had to slide the whole thing down a little bit to make it more central. Clip that wire off from the beginning. Press that little cut end down. Lost my bead then, but I've found it. So I like to just flatten the weave down with nylon pliers. That looks quite nice. So next we need to bend that around the mandrel. So on the size that you've decided, bend the weave around the mandrel. So as you bring the wires around, the bottom wire on the right is going to come across and up, and all the rest I'm going to go back for now. So you can really bring that around like that. So what we'll do next is take your weaving wire, and we want to add coils to this middle wire here, which is the lower one. So on this right side, the lower wire, we're just going to wrap around and around. So we're adding coils to that wire. Compress it all together. So we've done about 1.5 centimeters of coils. So now we pop the bead onto that wire that went over to the other side. So this is where we need to work out the size again. So pop it back on your mandrel, get to the size that you want, and you need to work out where you need to wrap that around to keep it that size. So pulling the band around nice and tight, get your bead nice and central, and I'm going to take the wire around those wires there. Push that wire down a bit at the base so it's nice and flat. I know I had about that much size between each end, so then this wire comes over this side, and you can get it back on your mandrel just to double check the size is still happy that the size is right. We're going to take this wire. See, I was going to take it under there, but I'm thinking now we'll probably just cut it off and wrap it around here, because I don't have any plans for that wire at the moment. We'll take it around so it's at the back. And again, I'm going to check that against the mandrel and just give it a little squeeze. Next we take the coiled wire and I'm going to bend it all the way back. Make sure it's all pressed together. And then I'm going to take it to the right at the base. And I'm going to gently scoop it around. So it comes up like that and we turn it back around. So I bent it back, I took it up, and then I brought it around and now it's going above the bead. Bead needs to stay central. Okay, the next wire, we're going to do a similar thing. Grip that wire at the base, bend it up the same. Hold on a minute. Take it out a little at the base. We're going to scoop this one around. It's going to come over the coiled wire. I'm awkward. I scoop it around, but I turn the actual whole thing around. And then carefully bring that wire around to sit like that, so it's going above that wire a little bit. And then I'm going to press it back against that wire. And now I've got two wires coming together this way. At that point, I'm just going to wrap around the two wires a couple of times just to tie them together. And then I should bring the wire up between, and I can carry on adding more coils to that top wire. Now I know I keep saying work slowly. I'm just going to leave the video going just for a few seconds just to show you how slowly I work. So there's no rush, and just take it as slow as you like. Get it as nice as you can, because it's all about how nice it looks. So really take your time. Okay, now we'll do a few to the other side. Right up, out the way for now. We're going to take the wires on the other side, and what I want to do is, I want to bend them back at the base, so grip them all and bend them back. I'm just going to, if I can, twist this a little bit so that wire is underneath rather than on the inside, like that. So these wires need to come right back flat against that weave. Misshape my weave a little bit. I'll just get it back on the mandrel. But keep going back to your mandrel and making sure that it still fits and it's still the size you want. So we're going to add some coils. We're going to do a very similar thing to this side. So I want my weaving wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave about 12 inches on that wire. Cut it, turn it around, and then of these three that we've just bent back, take the middle one and we'll attach coils. So like we did with the other side, just do a handful of coils to start with, and then we'll shape the wires around and then join them together like we did for the other side. So take your time and we'll just do our first little amount of coils for that side. I think I did a little bit more than that. We need to cut that wire from the beginning. Slide that down, push it right down. So these wires are going to come up. And we'll start with the middle one. Let's have a look what we're doing. Might need a few more coils. I'm just going to add a little bit more, I think. So we take that middle wire. Make sure your coils are really pushed down. And we're going to bend it, scoop it around, and you want to kind of try and match up the same size as you did for the other side. I'm just going to pull it right over like that. So this side is coming around this side and this one is going around the other side of that centre bead. So I think I am just going to add a few more coils there, and then we're going to take this wire and that's going to do exactly what the other one did. So carefully scoop it around with your finger, bring the wire over that coiled wire, take it around to follow. I never noticed that before. I actually bring the whole thing around rather than take the wire around. And the last one, this wire up here, is going to come around the same. Hard to shape the bottom at this point, so I'm going to shape it here and I'm going to push it in a bit, and then I'm going to pull it around. So that all three wires come around the same, but the middle one is the highest wire. Do you know what I mean? So all three wires come around like that. So at this point now, we can attach all these wires together. So I'm going to go around. Should we go around all three? Go around all three a couple of times. Come up between those bottom two. And then wrap around that middle wire again. I bought that little bead years ago. I bought like a little batch of yellow topaz, and I thought topaz was blue. Maybe it is. But the yellow topaz beads, I thought they looked so nice because there's hardly any colour to them. Some of them are a bit more red in colour. They're quite cute. But yeah, I've had them years and never used them, so I thought it's time. So we've got these 3 wires coming down and these 2 wires going up like this. So these 2 wires are going to go over the stone and over this middle wire here. So you can imagine I need more coils just to get over the top there. So I'm gonna just add more coils to that single wire. To push all your coils together. And then I'm going to pull these wires over as if they're going over the bead. Hold on. And I still need to add more coils to reach, so you can see how many you need to add. We're just going to bring these 2 wires over the top for now, just while we're working out our coils. So I've parted the wires a little bit. You can see they will go over the bead there. And then what we're going to do is carefully take these 2 wires under that lot. Like that. I'm going to pull this wire out a little bit. Like that. Take your coiled wire and it's going to go around. So we're going to post it through. So bend it mostly at the end so you're not missshaping it. I'm holding that there so I'm not missshaping that bit. Pop it through the ring band. That's our Gracie snoring if you can hear her. We're going to bring that wire up the back. Just pulling it around a little bit tighter so it's more snug to the bead there. Still fits on the mandrel. So that wire that we've just took around, we can cut that weaving wire now because that's a bit of a nightmare with all these wires everywhere. Then these 3 are going to come around the bead the other side. So we can take the top wire, which is a bare wire, and he's going to come around the bead. And I'm going to post it through so it goes above that wire that goes through the bead. So trying not to misshape that original bend in it, which I'm likely to. And post it through the gap. Aim for it to come down and then just carefully wiggle it through and reshape that wire. Try not to misshape everything else. So when it goes around the bead, I've gone around that wire at the back there. I just push it down a bit. And I want to actually finish that wire, so that's a bit long, that is. I'm going to press that around the middle there. Cut off that extra bit. Then we need to add coils. This is the middle wire, the coiled one. We're going to add coils, and I think I just got enough room to pop that one round as well. So I'm going to do that. I'm sure I've done way too many coils. Bring the wire around, undo the too many coils, and then pop that wire through the same. I think I like having this gap between this coil and this wire at the top. So I'm going to have a gap between this coil and this wire at the bottom, because I like how that looks with the wires being a little bit wide apart. I need to re-add a few coils. Oh dear. And I won't cut that off just yet. We bend this wire, pop him through. So I'm happy with that. I'm gonna cut the weaving wire there, and I'm gonna cut this wire and finish it off the same as I did for the other side. I'll cut this and bend that around, making sure not to over tighten that wire so it stays where I want it. This third wire comes around. I'm going to bring it right the way across the front here. And then, holding that in place, I'm going to take it over that gap there. So get it back in place, and then tighten it around. That went easier than I thought it would. So these two wires that come up here, I'm going to take the top one and holding it firmly in place, I'm going to scoop it around. Just press it around with your finger. And then it's going to come over. I think I'm going to take it to the back. I want to post it through the middle. We've got quite an eye looking shape up here in there. The first wire that came around that went over the middle here, I'm going to cut that one. Oops. And I'm going to press it around that part there below the, hold on, hard to show you. I'm going to pop it around this bit here. Do you know what I mean? So it's sort of at the base of those loops there. Sometimes I feel like I'm being a bit rough with the wires, but sometimes I think you have to, really. It's my excuse. This wire, which is the wire that comes over the top, holding that top wire because it keeps moving, comes over that middle part and scoop over these to there and leave it there for a minute. The one that comes out the top there, I think I'm going to cut that one short, and I'm going to wrap that one around that wire that it's already gone around. Put it nice and short. And then this wire here comes over the lot to there. And then this wire is just going to finish around the band. So we take it around, holding that shape there. Take it around the band. And then squeeze it in place. Oop, so when you've got it where you want it to be, squeeze it in place and then bring the wire over the front a little bit, because you don't want to finish off any wires at the back, because when you're doing rings, if you finish a wire at the back you get scratchy bits. Scratch your finger. And if you mark your wire like I keep doing, take a nail buffer and just carefully buff the marks off the wire. And if yours is like mine and it's got different grades, you can then go to the finer one and shine it up after you've got your mark off. Works most of the time. And then this one, I'm going to do the same, so it comes over, a little bit of a gap around it, and make sure it's how you want it in the middle. That's it. And then take that around the band and finish it off the same. That moved then, I felt it move. Position it how you want it, press it around, squeeze it in place, bring it over, squeeze that side. I need to lift it a bit just to cut it off, finish it at the front. Buff off your tool marks. Try not to buff over the weaving wire, because you don't want that getting too thin. You don't want to break your weaving wire. Oh, I think we might be done. I'm going to get it back on the mandrel once more. So get it back on your mandrel for the final time and give it a good squeeze. I am managing to still get it onto an 8, but it was a bit of a struggle. Push it all against itself. Push it all down. Check all your little ends are all nice and tidy out the way. And I'll oxidise mine and I'll show you. I really love how that weave came out. So I've oxidised mine. If you'd like help oxidising yours, I've done videos on oxidising and aftercare. I'll put links in the description below. I hope you managed to follow this tutorial okay. I didn't cause too much confusion. Gracie didn't snore too loud. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now. Bye.